While understanding inequalities and barriers to wellness are important, an approach that only looks at the challenges faced by Indigenous populations seems reductive. During post-colonial times, Indigenous peoples have shown great strength and resilience through the restoration and promotion of Indigenous identity, through the maintenance of cultures and languages, and through self-governance. Taking a strength-based approach to support the use of these positive factors can be a lasting intervention to improve overall health and wellness. This approach is called empowerment, and it can be explored on an individual, organizational, and community level. Mark Zimmerman describes empowerment as a process where people create or are given opportunities to control their own destiny and influence the decisions that affect their lives. When approaching the empowerment of Indigenous youth, there are 4 priority actions that should be kept in mind. Supporting the involvement in the development, implementation, and evaluation of interventions, developing a strong relationship with the local community, working with Indigenous youth as equal partners, and creating opportunities for Indigenous youth to develop skills with the ultimate goal being autonomy.
Due to the overarching theme of holism, it can be suggested that mental health services for Indigenous people should incorporate this theme. A good representation of this theme is the medicine wheel, identifying the 4 components of human nature: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional.
Many of the physical ailments common in Indigenous populations can be attributed to the changes in lifestyle that occurred post-colonization. Some of the more prevalent physical health concerns include diabetes, obesity, tuberculosis, and poor oral health. To combat them, we need to utilize inclusivity, empowerment, and education of children and youth. We must identify food choices, learn about cultural food knowledge, assess challenges, and empower youth to find solutions. For all cultures, it is important to incorporate patient beliefs and treatment options in standard practice and interventions. One of the biggest barriers for Indigenous youth is that this is extremely lacking in available mental health services. In identifying appropriate counseling techniques, it is necessary to practice cultural competence and awareness. An example of this is the engagement model for Aboriginal youth, which focuses on incorporating cultural values into counseling and other interactions.
According to a 2008 study on the cultural perspectives of health from Native counselors, participants stated that traditional cultural practices, such as engaging in spiritual acts like dance and ceremony, are ways that identity can be incorporated into counseling practice. A 2017 study aimed at understanding how Indigenous culturally based interventions can improve participants' health had individuals participate in lectures on Indigenous traditions and healing methods. They reported feelings of connection with ancestors' history and culture, and fulfillment of spiritual needs. If access to these aspects of culture and spirituality can result in such openness and feelings of connectedness for participants, then it is important that these aspects are included in counseling services.